Hey everyone, it's Emmy Hall, and behind me I have the 2014 Honda Civic Coupe, or Coupe A as they like to say across the pond. Now in 2012, Honda reissued a brand new redesigned Honda Civic and everyone hated it. So Honda went back to the drawing board. They came back for something new in the sedan in 2013, and the 2014 Coupe has gotten all those bells and whistles, but it's not just about looks. What am I talking about? Find out next, coming up on the Fast Lane Cars. So let's start with the looks, which I think are really quite good. Now they didn't just tweak a fender, they went whole hog, and basically everything from the windshield forward is redesigned. The new grille and headlight design allow for a more aggressive front end, and the taillights and rear bumper have also been updated. Under the hood, Honda has given us a 1.8 liter four-banger that knocks out 143 horsepower and 129 pound-feet of torque. Now power goes to these front wheels through a continuously variable transmission, but never fear manual enthusiasts. You can still get the manual in the coupe in both the LX and the EX trim lines. Honda estimates that your fuel economy is going to be 29 miles per gallon in the city, 38 out on the highway with a combined of 33. But in my week of driving this with mostly city driving and in just regular mode, i.e. not the Econ and not the Sport, I only averaged 25.2. So buyer beware. We've got the EXL trim line here of the Honda Coupe, which is basically top of the line. So I've got all the bells and whistles. I've got leather seats, Sirius satellite radio, I've got Bluetooth, cruise control, all those things that you've come to expect. We've got a couple of cool little things here as well. Now, first of all, the center stack is really driver featured and it is tilted towards me, which I do like. And I also get the Honda app. So it comes with this little HDMI port. And I need to download the app, but once I download it, there's basically another version of satellite radio that's included with this Honda app. So you can get access to news stories, entertainment stories, music, all that kind of fun stuff. Plus you can find out if there's a gas station around you or a restaurant, all that cool stuff. You can even access your Facebook account if that's your bag. It's not really my bag to do while I'm driving because it's a little distracted, but it is possible in here. One thing that I don't like about this 7-inch screen is that even with the brightness turned all the way up, as soon as you open the sunroof, holla, you get a really big glare at certain times of the day. In fact, this morning as I was driving here, it was kind of like I was going to get my face on fire because it was reflecting off of here and right onto my face. And I'm sure my haters would love to see that happen. However, it was not very cool. So I do wish that this screen could tilt back and forth just a tiny little bit. I'm also trying to set my radio presets. I kind of had to toggle back and forth between two screens, so that was a little annoying as well. But on the whole, I think the interior works really well. It's got a lot of brushed steel in here, and it contrasts nice with the dark interior, and I do like the way that it's designed. Now this is a 5-passenger car, but being a coupe, getting in and out of the back seat can be a little tricky. So let's see. I'll go this way like this. Oh, I got it, it's fine. Oh yeah. So this seat is set from a driving position at 5'9", and that was a little tricky. But I do have a little bit of room here for my knees and a little bit of room for my head. So it's not the most comfortable, but for smaller trips, shorter trips, I think you'll be okay. Now, as you know, every car makes or breaks on the laundry basket rating. I've got 11.7 cubic feet of space back here, which I think is going to be enough for a trademark laundry basket rating of 3. So let's see. Oh my God, 3! Totally think that wasn't going to work. The Civic Coupe does have a sport mode. Now that will allow you to use the paddle shifters here to shift the CVT within a set of predefined ratios. This car also has got a slightly bigger rear stabilizer bar, but honestly, neither of those things make this into what any enthusiast would call a sport coupe. If you're gonna want something that's sporty, go for the SI. But I think that most buyers are gonna be satisfied with the performance of this car. It certainly does drive well. It drives very, very smoothly. It handles any of the city streets, potholes, and things like that with relative ease. I adore this small little steering wheel. I think it's really, really fun. Now, I don't get a ton of feedback, but it is nicely weighted and input seems to be pretty quick. So the big story this year is the new CVT. It replaces the outgoing 5-speed automatic. Now, manufacturers seem to like CVTs for a couple of different reasons. First of all, they're lighter weight, there's fewer moving parts, and they get better gas mileage. Now, they don't shift like a regular automatic, however. So in CVTs, the transmission is always trying to find the most efficient ratio within the power band, and it takes into consideration your throttle position, your engine speed, and the speed of the car. So you've got all those things working together. Now, some CVTs, they can be a little loud. You kind of feel like maybe the whole transmission is going to fall out of the car at any moment. But in this one, that's not the case. It's very, very smooth. And honestly, you don't really ever feel it winding up like older CVTs do. So I think Honda's done a really great job with this transmission. I think that people are going to be very, very satisfied. Of course, like I said before, you can still get the manual in the EX and the LX editions if that's your bag. My only complaint about the CVT is that you do seem to lose just a little bit of oomph off the line. I mean, in last year's model with either the manual or with the 5-speed automatic, you seem to get a little bit of that like push you back into your seat kind of fun when you were getting off the line at a green light. You really don't have that in this car, but like I said, I think that regular buyers, if you're going to want sport, you're going to go for the SI. Regular buyers are going to be satisfied with how this CVT performs. So when I first got in this car, I noticed that this has the Honda lane watch. So when I signal right, I get my blind spot here up on my 7-inch touchscreen. And at first I hated it because why bother? I mean, this is a Civic Coupe. It's not an 18-wheeler. If I can't turn and look for my blind spot, then I really don't deserve to be driving. And then I found myself using it. And then I found myself kind of liking it. And then I ended up hating myself because, like I said, it's a Civic. It's not an 18-wheeler. But it is very useful, especially for smaller cars and motorcycles, and it gives you a much larger field of vision than you do with just turning and looking this way. The Civic Coupe does have a sport mode. Now that will allow you to use the paddle shifters here to shift the CVT within a set of predefined ratios. This car also has got a slightly bigger rear stabilizer bar, but honestly, neither of those things make this into what any enthusiast would call a sport coupe. If you're gonna want something that's sporty, go for the SI. But I think that most buyers are gonna be satisfied with the performance of this car. It certainly does drive well. It drives very, very smoothly. It handles any of the city streets, potholes, and things like that with relative ease. I adore this small little steering wheel. I think it's really, really fun. Now, I don't get a ton of feedback, but it is nicely weighted and input seems to be pretty quick. While the coupe segment is not extremely crowded, the Honda Civic Coupe does stand out against its competition like the 2014 Hyundai Elantra or the Kia Forte Coupe. Coming in at $24,830 and on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, I have to give the 2014 Honda Civic Coupe EXL with navigation a very enthusiastic buy it. That's it for this week. I'm Emmy Hall. Thank you so much for watching. Yay! Round of applause. Hey, you can find me all over the social medias, and as usual, tune in to tflcar.com for more news, views, and reviews. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.